So, good afternoon and welcome to Nutmeg Curling Club. This is the Yale SuperSpiel 2019. This is the 2:30 draw. Teams are just taking the ice. This is Pool C round two. The teams from Sheet A, Syracuse versus Bowdoin. Syracuse will be playing the Redlocks. On Sheet B, RPI versus SUNY 1. RPI will be playing the Redlocks on that sheet. And on Sheet C, right in front of me here, Villanova 2 versus Yale 2. Currently, the standings in Pool 2. RPI is on top with 2 points, followed by SUNY 1, Syracuse, Nova 2, Bowdoin, and Yale 2. Teams just taking to the ice here, and team members getting in a few practice slides. The warm room is extremely busy here today. Looks like probably all of the college teams are represented here with the ones who just came off the ice. Currently enjoying a late lunch, traditional chili being served. And we've got the Pool C teams out on the ice right now. Good day for curling. It's pretty chilly outside, so the warm room is a good place to be. Next door, actually, at the Wonderland of Ice, I think there's a either high school or college hockey. I suspect it's actually a high school hockey game with two local rivals. I'm going to say Ward and Fairfield Prep playing each other. So the parking lot is actually filled to maximum. So with a few of the parents of those teams wandering in here to catch an adult beverage, I think, and watch the other major sport played on ice. So we'll keep the overall look cameras for the moment as the leads are flipping for hammer, and we'll be underway pretty soon. It's interesting with the streaming here now at Nutmeg. We've got a good set of cameras and a good setup. And while not many people seem to watch it live, they do seem to go back and watch their game when they come off the ice and when they get home, etc. So it's a lot of fun doing this here. So it looks like we're getting underway. A and B, I see lead locks are going. Looks like on B, red has hammer, so a yellow lead lock is on the way. Pretty aggressive sweeping, but I think it's going to come up pretty light. Probably a pretty partisan crowd here in the club with Yale, the local team who have been playing here for a number of years now. Kelsey Shooter, who is actually no longer at Nutmeg and has moved, I think, up to the Rochester area. He has kind of started this, and the Yale college curlers come here every Sunday afternoon, about 6 o'clock. I've actually had the pleasure of working with not this group, but previous groups, and they really the sport's definitely caught on up at Yale, and it's good to see the college. And thanks to Kelsey and some other people's hard work, the Yale Spiel has become a very popular event on the college circuit. So Got a few Yale supporters sitting next to me today. You can hear them cheering. Throw a headset on one of them later to get some in-game commentary later on. So at the moment, it feels like I'm talking to my 13-year-old son. Nobody's listening. So yeah, my son's one of the junior curlers here. So yeah, family of curlers. My wife's so happy about it. Where are you from? Okay. So down near Plainfield at all, or? Yeah. Yeah, we were at Plainfield last week for a junior bonspiel. Okay. Yep. Excellent. So as the game's just starting here, I'm going to continue my conversation with the Yale people. So actually, um, all right. So we've got some setting up now on sheets A and B. We'll go to the far houses, so you get a view of what's happening. Sheet C was a little slower getting on the ice. Both sheets A and B, we have a lot of guards set up. For anybody who's watching this who's new to curling, any rock which is over the hog line, which is the big thick red line that you can see towards the bottom of the screen. Anything that gets over that is in play, and any rock before it gets into the house, that's the painted targeted zone type thing, is generally we refer to that as a guard, and it's in the guard zone. The first 5 rocks cannot be removed from play if they're in that zone. It used to be 4 rocks, and this year it was changed to 5. Generally, when there's guards in play, that's a more aggressive style of play, and come around, tap ups, etc. So sheet A looks as though yellow has, I'm going to say 2 rocks in the house. Red shooting now. Looks like they are looking to put it to draw around here. They come up a little short and just nudge the yellow in a little further. Sheet B, anything's in the house. Maybe that red might be remove that from play, and they're going to. It's going to be a solid hit, nose hit there. Drives the red out of play and sits the yellow there. So yellow with a good number of guards on the left-hand side of the sheet. See, I think red has hammer, and they're looking to draw through the port there. Sheet A, yellow just with a downweight hit, just a tap that back out. So yellow on both A and B. Sheet B, sweeper's on it hard. You can see if it doesn't crash on that yellow guard. He just taps that. Very close to. Just need a little more weight to clear that yellow. With it. Skip is eyeing options here. I think he's looking for a double tap back. Tap that top yellow on the center line. Run that straight back. Tap the yellow straight back. The second yellow back towards the button. Sweeper just on it now. You see it coming into play. Just going to overcurl a little bit, but that's a nice shot. Hangs around, and it does. Tap to the back of the 8-foot. The only rock I think in the house at the moment on E. Take a look on that. Yeah, exactly. You can see that the yellow on the back 8 is the only rock in the house. Here on sheet C, Yale with the hometown team. Yale too with playing the yellow rocks. They have a rock looks like it's sitting on the tee line in the middle of the 8-foot. I think they called for guard there. Didn't quite curl enough. They called for the hit red, but interestingly was lighted over curled and ended up tapping his yellow, his own red pond stone into the. Sheet A, where we don't have an overhead camera. So one sheet we do not have an overhead camera. Off season. Red is sitting one, yellow with at least 2 rocks in the house, but nothing inside the 12. Sheet B, the first yellow skip rock is away. They are sitting one by the looks of it. Sitting one back 8 with 2 red rocks in front, both in the 12. Not sure if the call there was to draw or to guard, but that's actually going to be a pretty useful block for yellow. It certainly red has hammer on B. It certainly prevents the path to the button. See what he calls here. The just as we do this, I'll remind you again. Sheet A, Syracuse versus Bowdoin. Sheet B, RPI, playing the Red Rocks. SUNY 1, yellow, and on here on sheet C in front of us, Nova 2 versus Yale 2. Ella, good question. Does anybody know when Colgate plays next? I do not, but I will ask somebody to go and find out. Could somebody find out when Colgate is playing next? When Colgate is playing next? When are they on the ice next? That is a question on the chat. Exactly. When does since the organizers just joined me, when does Colgate play next? So if I just say later, that's not really going to help. This the high price of Yale education here. Yeah. 8 p.m. against Nova. Perfect. So we'll get back to the curling here. I do fully admire the curler on sheet C who is playing in a, what was that, a duck onesie? Do we think? I apologize. It's a penguin, and if Brian Walker is listening, he will be appalled to know that since he studies penguins. So we actually have a penguin delivering the rock on sheet C. He's thank you. It's all. Yeah, we'll get a better view of it from the other side. That's the penguin delivering on. This isn't the penguin from Batman fame, I think. So it's far more svelte than that one. And by the looks of it, the penguin can curl. Just makes a very nice hit and roll. Well, I guess penguins are used to being on ice, so we can go with that. Penguin, I assume, is the Nova second. So I'm now intrigued to find out the penguin's name. Oh, it's giving me too much information. Right, Nova, perfect. Jonathan Haggerty from Cedar Grove, New Jersey, is the penguin. Well, Jonathan, we salute you. So looks on B. That was a steal of one by Yellow. That being SUNY 1. We'll concentrate on sheet C for the moment. Yeah, the penguin is in the house. On sheet A, that was that was 1 point for red. So that was Syracuse. Got 9 people watching currently, so certainly shout out, ask any questions. Sheet C, I think the call was a draw. Probably one of the first times that they've come that way, the outturn for the right-hander, and came up a little light. That line tends to run a little more slowly, so nice. Here's the current state of play on C. You can see we've got one red, which was the result of the Penguins' hit and roll, sitting very much undercover behind the staggered yellow and red guards. The Yale skip is positively sprinting down the ice. Sporting a pair of old school convex high tops, I think. Shot here could be looking to tap the yellow on the center. I'm guessing back. Said Yale does have hammer here, so they really need to try and open things up to try and get a route to the button. Put the thump of his knee on the ice. He's going to tap back, but he didn't actually. I think it was caught a bit. I think he was trying to tap, but supposed to just try and blast the an opening. So we're down to the final skip box here. The Nova skip and the Penguin are discussing what they're going to do here. They are sitting one and they're well protected. So given the fact there's no obvious route into the 4-foot, they would probably be looking to put up a guard, try and protect the a yellow run back, and protect their steal of one. They'll be looking for a fairly high guard to. One back's not easy. Unfortunately, the yellow from the last shot is now slightly higher, and a bad angle for Yale. Oh, the Nova skip is in the hack. He's a lefty. Penguin is holding a diagonal boom, which is always interesting to shoot at. You can see the wall does hold rocks a little bit and took a little too much ice. Never quite got enough curl for that. So Yale does have a shot here. It's a toughie. They'll be looking to run back one of those yellows. There's no obvious route directly to the button, so the best they can hope for is to try and run back to the edge of the 4-foot and try and outcount that red counter. So worst case scenario, it's just going to be a steal of one. First end. All games in this across the sheets are tight. Both A and B, there was one shot. Put in both sheets A and B. We have a lot of locks in play. I'll switch to those houses in a moment and give you an update once the Yale skip delivers his way. Sweepers on it for line. Now they're off. A bit of curling. Oh, it's a good try. Very nice try by the Yale skip there. It was always going to be a tough shot. He actually did manage to tap the yellow back into the rings, but unfortunately just into the 12-foot. So that's going to be a steal of one for Nova. take a look at the near houses. Sheet C, sorry, sheet B rather. Pardon me. We've got a number of blocks in play. Looks like yellow has two, counting two at the top of the forefoot. Yellow, I think, is putting up some form of a guard, but just kind of looking over on sheet A. Oh, some nifty footwork there by one of the sweepers. Sheet A, we have three yellow rocks in the house. Everything in the back 12. The way they drew this to end up, I'm sure. Bowdoin Vice, I think, his first rock. That's some incredibly good footwork by the Yale skip there. Is he known for his dancing skills? He is known for his dancing skills. Excellent. Exactly. Well, the good news is that was actually caught on the camera, so you can point it out to him later. Competing in terms of sartorial elegance, we have a number of curlers on sheet B with who have adopted the Norwegian style pants. We have many colors. And the shirt over here. What is on that shirt? Is it himself? No, it's not himself. Yeah, well, there's some debate as to the skip. Of that would be of the SUNY team. SUNY skip has a pair of very colourful pants and a shirt with faces on. And I may have to dispatch somebody out to the ice to report back on what it is. Yeah, exactly. Any idea? We're going to have a little competition here. So anybody who's watching, if you can see what's on that shirt, then please report back. The boy with the pants. That narrows it down. Oh, it's Tom Cruise. Yeah. Oh. Okay, here's the next question. Why does he have a shirt with Tom Cruise on? What movie is it? What movie is that from? Jerry Maguire, Show Me the Money? You you had me at hello? Yeah, exactly. Maybe he's a fan of Top Gun, Maverick. You know, we'll see. Yeah, we're going to call him Maverick. So that's his. So Sooney Skip's name is actually not do the gentleman any disservice. Any good commentator comes well prepared, so I'm obviously not. And well, Sooney's is missing. We could actually look on the above, but that's pretty too much effort. Well, we're going to call him Maverick. If anybody can remember the name of Tom Cruise's character in that movie, Show Me the Money, what was it called again? Jerry Maguire. Jerry Maguire. There you go. See, look at that. They're not. You know what? These Yales there. We have 13 people watching, so I apologize for my commentary now. That's apparently yes. It's my son and his friends probably. So let's look across the sheets here. On B, yellow is sitting nicely on the button, and also 2 second lock in the 8 foot. Adidad has another friend now in the 8 foot as well, so sitting 3. Red does have hammer on B. On sheet A, yellow is sitting 1 back of the 4 foot. Red is second shot, and then 3 other yellows in the back of the 12 foot there. Yellow does have a hammer. Just for anybody who's new to curling, hammer refers to actually having the last lock of the end as a distinct advantage. And the way it works is whichever team scores in the previous end, then the other team will have hammer, which means that the team who scores results in the standard curling joke of "I don't know how I lost. I had to hammer the whole match." We've all been in that situation. So that's moving the shitbox on B. I think say that was a steal of 1 by yellow. Looking up, I see yellow is definitely. Oh, I think I've done disservice. I think Maverick actually is the vice on the SUNY team. Makes sense because I think we were at skip locks when we noticed his Tom Cruise shirt. Sheet A is definitely setting up. We have a lot of locks in play. We have a plethora of guards. Yellow does have a hammer and is sitting 1 currently. Given that, I think the call is not sure what. Didn't see where she put the. She tapped, but she's either looking for the draw, the dice, to draw maybe to the other side of the 4 foot behind that red, or just looking to kind of plug that hole in the middle. Looks like, given the weight, it's definitely draw weight. Just ticked off one of the many guards up front and has joined its friends there. That actually was hammer. Oh, I apologize. That was hammer. So no guard, of course, for that. That was hence, I think, 1. So red forcing yellow to 1. Again, for the more beginning curlers watching, the basic concept is the team with hammer will look to score at least 2. And what may seem slightly counterintuitive is if that team only scores 1, it could be called an advantage to the other team that actually gave up the point because they then get hammer back in the next end. And that's generally referred to as a force. So one would say that red forced yellow to 1. I mean, red gets the hammer back, and that's all tied at 1. B actually was a score of a steal of 2 yellow. So that's 3-1. SUNY is up in that game. Can we see a close up of sheet C? Yes, we can see a close up of sheet C. And we'll always looking to respond to demand. Here's the close up of C again. Just to remember that Nova is playing the red rocks and Yale the yellow rocks. Red currently sitting 2. Yellow does have hammer. This is the Villanova Vice lock, as we're calling him, the Penguin, due to his penguin onesie that he is wearing. Put up a center guard here. Definitely a draw. There's definitely room here to draw. So the call is either going to be try and clear some granite in the middle here or go for the draw. Looks like the initial call is to. Oh, spectacular slide on B. He had, and he actually made the shot, lying spread eagled upon the ice in shorts. Sheet C, Yale. I think the call was. Said it was a draw. She was a little wide. The good news on that is it has opened up path to the button, both on the in turn and the out turn. Coming to skip blocks now, so it's going to be the Nova skip shooting first. Penguin will be holding the boom. Just a reminder of the scores on the other sheets. They're in the kind of early rocks in the third end. Sheet A, Syracuse and Bowdoin tied at 1 apiece. On sheet B, SUNY 1 throwing the yellow rocks is up 3-0 on RPI. So looking at sheet A, sheet C, right in front of me with Yale. The Yale, the Nova skip put up a guard, which is, I would say, blocking the route to the button. The Yale Vice is put the boom here. That is the shot lock, and I think with a down weight hit can definitely get to it. Tough to get a little roll onto the inside, a little flop to stay under cover. Assuming that I don't think there's a draw at the button here because that would crash on the way. So I assume that the shot here is a down weight hit. Probably looking for sort of hack weight just to get a bit of sort of late curl just to make sure. One of these shots, providing he gets through the port, it's kind of a diagonal port between that red guard, which was the Nova Skips guard, and that yellow. If you get through that with the hack weight, he's narrow. So that's was the hit, but he's definitely narrow. Oh, the no, it's yeah, no, it's they're definitely it's at one red, one yeah. So Nova looking to steal here. So the obvious shot here is a guard. You can put a guard between those two reds. That pretty much will protect the hit, and then that would force Yale to draw. A lot of team effort, input from the whole team here on this one. Never seen that before. The Nova skip actually does use a stand-on slider and actually put it down and then slid all the way down the ice on it. So that's one way to get to the other end. Speedy fashion. He actually did it under great control. So so the Penguin is setting the boom for a guard. This is just very line dependent. Pretty much, it doesn't matter whether it's a 1, 2, 3, or 4. I would be coming off of that. Yep. Just touched their other red guard, but I think that's pretty done the job. I think that's going to be a pretty tight port to get through. Yale, Vice, and Skip are deciding what the choice is here, and I think she's here. The decision here is that you can actually get to it inside out on this. Um, Providing it's got the weight, pretty tough to do any damage here. They are sitting. It is just one red, so even if they do crash on that top red, very unlikely to do any damage. But incredibly lucky they could actually double it out, but that would be unlikely. Yale skips in the hack, self set. Looks like a little wide. I think he's going to crash on the top red, unfortunately. So we're going to have a. Oh no. So that's going to be a steal of 1. Yep. Yep. Vices agree. The Penguin agrees, and it's a steal of 1. Nova taking a 2-0 lead there. Take a look at what's going on sheets A and B now. Sheet A, we have a number of rocks in play. Kind of tough to see what is shot rock from here. I imagine it is at least one yellow. Sheet B looks a lot clearer. We've got 2 yellows in the top 12. That's it. Red has hammer here, down 3-0. Expect that they are. So the call was to draw behind those other 2 yellows or put up a guard. Whatever the call was, it's going to be a guard. And that's a nice center line guard, which when you don't have hammer is a good place to put a rock. Confirm they've hung the score on a C. That was a steal of 1 to Nova. The Bowdoin game, which is being played on A. Thomas is asking, is tied at 1. And as you can see from the, we actually don't have a far A camera, I'm afraid. So I can't get an overhead look on that. But if you look, you've got just a reminder that Bowdoin is playing with the yellow rocks and Cuse is playing with the red rocks. Number of rocks in the house, and I think Bowdoin is probably sitting at least one, maybe two. They were forced in the last end, and so red does have hammer in the third end here. GB is playing at a lightning speed, and that was a steal of one again by the SUNY team over RPI. So after three ends, SUNY is up 4-0. So as B and C kind of set up early rocks, we'll kind of focus on A here at the moment. It is the Syracuse's Skip's first rock coming up. The Skip and the Vice are in the house, deciding what to do here. I think they're looking at the shot rock, which is that rock which I imagine is just biting the top of the 8-foot. It's pretty open by the looks of it. I don't see any guards that would really come into play. Pretty tight there, so I think the question is, though, I think if he does hit that, and even if he hits it on the nose, I don't know if he will then be shot. However, of course, it would be a rock that could be used to tap with his final rock. So the decision's been made. Looking at the broom, I suspect it's going to be a hit. If he's a righty, it's going to be the outturn hit. And of course, he's a lefty, so it's going to be the in turn for him. Curling, the handle, or as we call it, so it'll be rotating either clockwise or counterclockwise. These are commonly referred to as in turns and out turns. The only confusing thing about that is that if you are a lefty or righty, your in turn and the out turns are different. So he was definitely narrow on the hit. Crashed into the top centerline guards, and I think just sort of it was sort of a tap situation with the final red scooting out the back. So I think we are still in an unchanged position in that. Bowdoin now looking at their options here. Skip is in the hack for his. This is his final lock. Hughes does have hammer. Pretty big port there between those two yellows straight kind of on the center line, and I think they're trying to draw into there. Sweepers are on it. Another lock in the 12-foot. We are working to populate the 12-foot here. I imagine that's pretty much taken any form of hit out of the equation for the Syracuse skip here, unless he's just looking to cut them down. Tough to hit anything and then be shot lock, I imagine. The front of the house as opposed to the back of the house, of course. I think they're lining up for a some form of draw, pretty similar to the Bowdoin's skip's last lock. Showed that there's definitely a line there to get through there and get into the 8-foot. So just came up a little light. So I imagine a similar shot with just a little more weight will get a chance of getting in for one here. Normally for Bonspiels, we would have some form of curling on the television, and we seem to have MTV instead. So it's probably reflecting the slightly younger generation who's overtaken the club today. Good to see something else. The draw from the Syracuse skip definitely came up light. So we're going to be now looking around and trying to work out what the count is. And certainly from here, I have no idea. But a lot of locks in the 12 foot. So. I'll let you know as soon as we have I think they're looking at this yellow and red, which actually are next to each other, probably even touching each other in the 12 foot. I don't know if this is for shot. I doubt that, or whether it's for a further counter. So, yep, we have a measure. Now, unfortunately, we don't have the overhead shot. So, I know during the Olympics, people were amazed that a device like this was used to. But it's actually it's very effective for what it does. It may look slightly antiquated, but the measuring tool does work well. So we'll keep an eye on. I'll let you know how that works there. Quick flick around here. Sheet B, where they are in the fourth end. The SUNY skip wearing Caitlin Laws' shirt, apparently. I assume he's a fan. Caitlin Laws, who is the vice for Jennifer Jones up in Canada. Maybe he's Laws. Maybe I've just done him a disservice. By the time he watches this, he won't know who I am anyway. Anyway, that was a hit. We've got a number of blocks here in play. Looks like red is sitting one with yellow 2-3-4. Red does have hammer down 4-0 on that sheet. The Yale Nova game. Nova is up 2-0. So yellow and Yale have hammer. Nova is sitting 1-2, but the shot rock is wide open. There's a very, very high guard just barely over the hog. You can see at the top of the screen there. That's pretty much out of the way for everything. So Yale Vice is delivering her first block. Looks like the call here is a hit. Given the amount of boom that the skip is giving her, it's going to be a downweight hit. Block doesn't move that much off the wall here on sheet C. So not really any guards to hide behind. So yeah, it's definitely a downweight hit. Very downweight. Hanging a bit out there. And I think unfortunately tap this back to the button. Oh, it's going to have just enough to get it out. Was he sweeping that? Yes. Okay, that rock is still in play. Rock has to be fully out over that back line to be able to play, as you can see. So it is not in the house, so it's not counting, but it is still in play. Unfortunately, beautifully placed for a skipped trip over it later on. So I'm not sure what the measure of the result of the measure was on A, but I can tell you that it was a steal of 2 by Bowdoin. Puts them up 3-1 after 3 ends. Pleased to announce that we have 11 people currently watching this feed, so thank you. Nice hit made by the Yale. Oh, it was the Penguin. Penguin can slide and can hit. So made the hit and but didn't hit and stick. Lost the shooter. So currently one red, but that is very much can't hit it directly. But if you just tap that top yellow, the yellow right by it, that will. So yellow has hammer, so not looking to plug anything up in the center. I would probably be looking to either tap that or maybe try and draw behind it. Looking over on B. The SUNY skip. They are up 4-0. Is I think looking for a double here. He's looking to hit that top red, pretty much touching the button just off nose. That will then split out the back one. Come with mega peel weight. You'll hear the slam of rocks. Obviously likes the upweight hit. Maybe not too familiar with the rocks here at Nutmeg. They actually have a lot of action, so peel wasn't quite needed for that. In the end, he was a little wide. Did take the top one, but missed the back one. So red's still sitting one with actually backing as well. Red is sitting 1-2. I apologize. So this is the RPI skips first rock. I would imagine, even though has hammer, we'll probably be looking to guard up that center red, which is back 4. Shot block. So nice shot on the C. I'll flick to that in a minute. The Yale skip was deciding what to do. Actually decided to tap that red out, and has now put himself in a good position of sitting 3 yellow at the moment. So that was the Vice who delivered that rock. So I'll show you what C looks like. You can see there that we have 3 yellows. Everything is open. There's no guards in play here at all. But we are getting into the ladder rocks. This is the Nova skips first rock. Sitting, with them with Yale sitting 3 at the moment. He's probably looking to try and move some rocks. I would imagine you can double out if you hit that top yellow. Yeah, he's just letting the crowd know he's going for the double. I like that. He's a lefty. He's coming inside out of it. Pretty much a nose hit on that top yellow will spill both yellows. It's actually a cheeky triple there as well, but that will probably be asking for it. Sweepers are on, and he is going to almost get the field goal. Unfortunately, that overcurled. He was always a little narrow, overcurled. So Yale has a good chance of getting back into this game here. They're down 2-0, but they're sitting 3 at the moment with hammer. Yeah, no, it's they're in a good position here. Really should be looking at the other side of the sheet here. Could put up a guard. The guard will make it tough, but the only problem with putting up a guard, if he doesn't put it exactly in the right place, he then gives a guard that the other skip can draw around. If he were to draw over there, exactly, all he's giving the other skip is hits, and they're debating here. They like the idea of the perfectly positioned guard, but if you just get that further out towards the center line, you're giving the Nova skip a lock he can hide behind. Sheet B. The RPI skip unfortunately was flashed his hit there, and that's a steal of one again to SUNY. The SUNY skip made the double with his block before. It's going to be 5-0, I believe, SUNY over RPI on. Back to C. This is the Yale skips first block. Checking what handle he's giving on it. There's no indication. He's going with the intern, so I think what he's doing is looking to split the house. Actually, why not use that red guard? You can certainly might as well hide behind it. Just put another one in the house just to try and add a bit more pressure to the Nova skip. Box away. It's going to overcurl a bit. It's going to overcurl and is light as well. So the good news is that that's not going to actually the Nova skip anything to hide behind. So Nova's up 2, but certainly in a not the best of positions here. The skip coming up, looking at 3 at the moment. You could play aggressively and try and maybe draw around those the 2 yellows. That is possible, or go with the more conservative and go for the double he tried last time. That way, if you make that, you are at worst going to be giving up 2 and retain the hammer tied. The decision's been made. It's certainly, judging by the boom, it is not a hit. So they are calling. I think they're looking to draw around the outside of those yellows. The only other thing he could be doing is trying to hit that back yellow, but that would be an interesting. If you're going to go for the hit, you probably more likely want to play off the tops. So. And he managed to field goal it. So the Yale skip coming up with a nice position here. Up, he's sitting 3 and needs to pretty much be full 12 to do it, to get 4. Definitely be looking to do no harm at this point. So all right. So it's the Yale skips last block here. Looking to draw. Just needs a full 12 to score 4. Box away. Sweeper's not too interested at the moment. Walking by it. This might be a little heavy. Penguin's out to make sure that it is. And it's going to just slide through the back of the house. Anyway, good end for Yale. They take 3 with hammer, puts them up 3-2 after. Take a look around the other sheets. First, we'll go to sheet A. This is Syracuse and Bowdoin in the 4th end. Bowdoin playing the yellow box is up 3-1. So Cuse does have a hammer. We're into Skip's box. Looks as though this is the Syracuse Skip first lock. The Bowdoin Skip's already delivered their first lock. It's one yellow at the moment. You can see just sitting, just biting the forefoot at the back of the house. Number of centerline guards. See what the score was, but looking by the stagger, that yellow's just peeking out there. So I imagine with something sort of like heavy draw, sort of backline plus, you could probably just tap that yellow counter back. Lock is on the way. Sweeper's on it hard. It's going to be just a little light, and it's going to open it up. Gets the top one off of the center line. So while that's happening, let's have a quick look on sheet B. This game is 5-1 in favor of SUNY with the 5-0 in favor of SUNY playing the into Vice box here on B, and red and RPI currently sitting 1 the house. There's 3 yellows, one in the 8 foot and the other 2 in the back. Sheet B, the Bowdoin Skip's final lock is on his way. Looks like he's playing some sort of guard to plug up that center, take that counter. He could have, I think, come in for second lock here. That's actually a pretty good position to be. That is in for second and makes the hit. I think the Syracuse Skip is eyeing up a double here, but that's with that red guard just touching the center line. That makes it pretty tight there. It is the obvious shot to go for. If you can make it, it doesn't matter if you spill the shooter. You've still got 2 reds counting. A high risk, high reward shot here. So let me stick with this for the moment. The Syracuse Skip is not sure that that double is there, and even if he goes for the just the hit on that top yellow, he will not be So the Syracuse skip is still deciding him. He's down 3-1, looking any way to use a guard. Deep consultation with his vice here. Sheet B, while that the decision's being made. RPI is now sitting 2. Skip is decided that there's a draw behind that red. So we're going to flick over to to A, the Syracuse Bowdoin game. The skip has made his decision. Judging by the boom, he's looking at that hit. Tough to make that double. You'd have to really just skinny past that red guard. Okay, locks away. Sweepers just watching it for the moment. That was a really nice try. It was always going to be tough to just get enough when that, but it looks to me as though it's going to be a steal of 1 to Bowdoin. That's going to make the score 4-1 Bowdoin over Syracuse. In mind of the other scores, on sheet C, Yale scored 3 in the third end to take a 3-2 lead over Nova. And on sheet B, which we'll do now, SUNY, playing the Yellow Rocks, is up over Nova 5-0. This is the RPI skips first skip rock, sitting 2 at the moment. The call was for a draw there, but he's going to come up a little light and just put up another guard. So we're down to final skip rocks on B. So on SUNY skips last rock on B. Shot called was the draw. Sweepers on it hard, and that's definitely not going to get that. And then some form of a guard. So RPI, pardon me, have a chance to definitely get back into this game. They're down 5-2, 5-0, with a chance to get at least a 5-2 or maybe 5-3. They're sitting 2 at the moment. The looking for the easiest route to needs to be full 8-foot. I think what they're looking here is to draw to the outside of the 8-foot and maybe use those 2 yellow locks, which are forming a bit of a pocket over there to their advantage. So as you can see on the sheet B, that was a 2, by putting 5-2 after 5. Here on sheet C, this is the Nova Yale game. Nova playing the Red Rocks and Yellow Rocks. Yale up 3-2, thanks to 3 points in the third end. Nice takeout by the Yale Vice there, as Yale sitting 2. I am informed that these are all greenhorn first-year curlers out of Yale. So these are true beginning curlers. This is the first-year Skip and Vice, and for the front end, it's their first ever Bonspiel. So they are acquitting themselves admirably in this game here against Nova. Up 3-2, and then well positioned in this end. So the tap back hit has been made on C by the Penguin, the Nova Vice. So Yale is sitting 1, but looking a little lonely. Bear in mind they don't have hammer. I think we're coming to skip rocks here. The important thing here is for Yale to be sitting 1-2 after the skip block, and not being in the position to give the Nova team a double. What's going through his mind? So. Call here is to split the house, put another lock T line on the 8-foot on the other side would be a good call. No discussion here. I think they're going to come outside in and kind of put something more on the 4-foot. Say the important thing, really no guards in this is to have to be counting 1, 2. Blocks away. It looks a little heavy. The sweepers are not interested at the moment. Now they're on it. Give me a nice shot. Yeah, he has drawn the top of the 4 foot. That's a nice shot. Now there is a double there, but he's going to be very happy with that. So the important thing was to be counting 2 after this. Look over on sheet A. We've got a lot of locks in play. We'll have to go with the 3 rings view here. You can see red is counting 1. Syracuse with red does have a hammer in this end. Ball was a draw, but looks a little heavy, and I think the Syracuse skip is going to jump on that and ensure it goes through the house, and it does. Remember this game is in the 5th end. Bowdoin is up 4-1. Syracuse first vice rock is on the way here. On sheet C, the Nova skip made the hit on the yellow that was sitting just biting the top 4, but it's wide open. So a bit of conversation is being had here, but they're first year, so probably trying to work out all the shots. But the obvious one here will be a straight nose hit. I think the vice is definitely agreeing with. Like as you can see, so it's currently 1 red, but he's wide open on the center line. A nose hit will have Yale counting 2. A lot of conversation here over this. I think the conversation is more not so much what the shot is, but which direction to come with the intern or the outturn. My call will be whichever one the skip is more comfortable throwing. They were looking at the guard, but frankly, if the guard comes into play, then they were wide anyway. So decided to come with the intern for the righty. Nope. Now he's changed his mind. He's going to come with the outturn. The important thing here is to hit and stick. Hitting it obviously is the primary objective. Then you want to stick. Just basically a nose hit would be perfect. Little anything on the inside or just a little run will be fine as well. But Walks underway. The Yale supporters here like it. It's gonna be nice, right on the nose. Nice hit, very nice hit. The crowd of many people here going. I think a wave just broke out. It's a very Teutonic wave. So The main objective here was there was always going to be a force possible, so it was going to be tough to stop them scoring. But this way you limit them to one. The Nova skip is looking at a hit here on that shot block. He's got to make sure he sticks. In the nose or just on the inside will be fine. It's the penguin is holding the broom here. Oops. No, he didn't burn it. The sweeper on SUNY sweeper went down with a bit of a thud. Fortunately, went down on his belly, so no harm to him and no harm to the rock as he missed it. All right. So for those while we were watching what was happening on B, that's a force of one, which is always the probable outcome. Went about it in a very unusual way. He was wide, hit his own red, and then rolled into the button. We have a name for that shot here at Nutmeg, but I won't say what it is. Thank you. So that's a force though. So Yale's going to be happy with the force of one. So that ties it up at 3 apiece on C. Looking out on sheet A, Syracuse and red are still sitting one. We are into skip rocks. Guessing this is the Bowdoin skip's last rock. Red does have hammer. A. Syracuse is sitting one. Foot. Bowdoin's second rock. Options here include drawing. You could draw down to your shot block. You can hit the second counter, hit it on the nose, and you will be two as well. See what the Syracuse skip feels most comfortable with. Away on going with the hit on A, judging by the weight. Tough to see the line from here. That's a nice hit. I imagine that is going to be a score of 2 to Syracuse. That's going to make it make the game 4-3 on sheet A in favor of Bowdoin over Syracuse after 5 ends. Sheet B. This game is 5-2 in favor of SUNY over RPI. RPI sitting 2 at the moment. The SUNY skips first lock. Looking for a straight hit, I think, on that shot red. Lock is away on B. Sweepers are looking at it, waiting on the line call from the vice. He had the Tom Cruise shirt. Downweight hit. It was just a little wide, and they just stayed out there. Made the hit, but didn't stick. And actually was the hammer lock. I needed the hit and stick for that. Didn't get that, so it's going to be a steal of 1 to RPI, making that game 5-3 after 6 ends. Room here at Nutmeg is full. We have MTV on the chance of me recognizing any of the artists is slim to none. How many years have we been hosting the Yale Spiel? It's the 5th year, is it? Time flies. 5th year for the. And how many teams this year entered this year? 18 teams. 18 teams representing 14 universities from around the Northeast, mainly, I assume. So it's a sellout. That is awesome. Yes. Been much debate at Nutmeg over the years about, well, a 4th sheet would be lovely. So. And I'm going to give a quick promotion here. So in 3 weeks' time, we will be hosting the juniors Neon Bonspiel. We'll have 12 juniors teams. That is also a sellout. We actually limit it to 12 teams so that we can get the Saturday night glow-in-the-dark curling played. 12 teams from multiple clubs in the as well. So if you're interested, come on down and watch. I understand this is a selfish promotion, as I'm one of the coaches of the juniors program here at Nutmeg. Yeah, it's really cool. The so we So we'll look across the sheets here. Update on the scores. On sheet A, Bowdoin is up 4-3 over Syracuse. They are playing the sixth end. On sheet C, it is all tied up. Yale against Nova at 3 apiece. And on sheet B, it is 5-3 in favor of SUNY over RPI. It was 5-0 this game, but RPI has scored 2 and then stolen 1 to make this closer. Sheet A, at the moment, we have 3 yellow rocks in the house to 1 red. Yellow is currently 1-2 with the red rock in the back 12. Hit there was just flash there. So on sheet B, yellow has hammer. He's looking to open things up here. The call for the skip was to try and clear those center line guards. Unfortunately, just a little wide, and is going to go through the house. Red with a good red without hammer here, and this is a good example of those center line guards put up early in the end have really given the chance of a steal here. On sheet C, we have red sitting at least 1 hit coming here. Sheet B, it is the RPI skips first lock, and looks like he's trying to draw another one in. So we have now more locks in the guard there. Sheet C. Yellow is sitting, Yale on yellow is definitely sitting 1, maybe 2. It looks pretty close for a second lock. This is the Villanova skips first lock. He's looks like he is going to be coming with a hit inside out. This will take off. The sweepers need to judge this early. It will move towards the wall a bit. Nova skip makes the hit there and sits there for a definite shot lock. He's behind the tee, so it gives the Yale skip sign to think about. Either just go for the hit, or if you were feeling particularly aggressive, you could just try and freeze one in there into that little pocket. 2 red rocks. I think he's looking for the more simple option, which is probably the sensible thing. It's a tight game here. It's tied at 3 apiece. Sheet B, we're down to the last skip rocks. This is the RPI skips last rock. They're sitting 1 behind quite a lot of granite. Looks like he's putting up another some form of guard, and that's going to just add to that. So his shot lock well hidden behind a lot of granite there, so really not sure what the options are. Even if the RPI skip, the SUNY skip, pardon me, does decide to try and drive something back, he's going to be driving another red back, so unlikely to get everything out. skip calling to try and open things up here. Needs to definitely trying to get away to the center line here. So primary goal accomplished on B. Move some ground around, but you know, there were so many guards that you could only get so many out. So easy call, I imagine, for the RPI will be to put another one of those guards back. Take a look at C here. Yale does have a hammer in this end. Nothing really to hide behind at the moment. Nova skip going for the hit here to remove the one yellow which is in the house, and that's going to be made. So we've got a big shot coming up on C here. The Nova is sitting 4. Good news, that's the bad news. The good news is that there is nothing in front of the tee, and the shot lock is sitting in a pocket. So any form of nose hit, even if it gets over a little bit, he's going to just use that other red to bank off. So we'll definitely stay with this for the moment. Are they tied on time? They've obviously been playing slowly on C. Keep the Bonspiel moving along. We like to kind of limit the time. So on sheet A, the Syracuse Bowdoin game, they will play. They are playing the 6th end now. They will play one more 7th end due to time. Sheet B, they will get all 8 ends in, and sheet C will be playing just 6 ends. This is the 5th, so basically each sheet has one more. The big shot here for the rookie skip from Yale. Big shot for the rookie skip from Yale here. Yeah, exactly. The debate here in the warm room is to go with the intern or the outturn. If you do go the other way, you do. But you do. If you do go the other way, it does curl more. This one is definitely at the straighter line. However, there is nothing in the way. So, but he's made his call. It's his shot. The skip is running after the lock. Very nice shot. Very nice shot. Pressure shot.
Oh my God, my heart is stopping.
Clutch throw, exactly. When you're facing 4 to make the hit and stick for 1, the Yale fans here are delirious with joy. It's a very dubious dance move being made. Well, we'll flick over to the other sheets.
Yeah, you can actually. There we go. Don't fall. Don't fall.
Somebody get the ambulance. So sheet B, red is definitely sitting 1. I think they're looking to see whether they're 2 or not. So this is Hammer here on B. The RPI, sorry, the SUNY skip is eyeing up what he wants to do here. I think he might be looking at the tap back of that yellow on the center line just outside the rings. Seems to be slightly overcomplicated as opposed to just playing the straight draw. Looking at the broom, the vice is giving him. He's definitely looking at that tap. So Fabian apparently is just discovering what fruit by the foot is. If it tastes like it, I'd be more concerned. All right, so SUNY Skip has made his decision, and he's going with the tap. More on the foot. This looks light, and it looks way light. Oh, everybody's sweeping it. Going to just so it's definitely going to be at least one red, possibly two. We'll wait on the measure. I think there's enough people in the house looking at it. So they have decided on B. We'll wait to see what the outcome of that is. Sheet A, fortunately, has not gone well for Syracuse in the last end. It's now 8-3. They are playing the seventh and what will be the last end of this game. All games are now into their final ends. And that was 2 red. So after being down 5-0 on sheet B, RPI has come right back into this with a steal of 2, and we are tied at 5. So sheet A, while it is 8-3 in favor of Bowdoin Syracuse, B and C are both very close in their last end. B is all tied up at 5, and C is Yale up 5-4 over Villanova. Nova having the hammer in this final end. What's the if it's tied? Is there as a nutmeg knockout? I think we would all like a nutmeg knockout. Yeah, exactly.
Bobby wouldn't because he won. Other than Bobby, everybody would.
Exactly. Everybody apart from Bobby Stoll, who should be incredible kudos as one of the senior members of the ice crew here. In case she's standing behind me. Love Bobby, exactly. So B will definitely not be going to a nutmeg knockout, I imagine, unless somehow they manage to blank the final end. Unlikely. Sheet A, unfortunately, given the score of unlikely. Wait, technically speaking, it is possible, although highly unlikely. So given the nature of this, we're going to flick to the near houses, and we'll keep an eye both on both B and C. I'll let you know if anything dramatic happens on A, but A needs to Syracuse needs to score 5 to force the nutmeg knockout. Here on C, the Yale, I mentioned that was the Yale second, makes the hit, but just on the outside and rolls out. So Yale still Nova second. So Yale still sitting one, top 12. Sheet B at the moment, which is all tied up. We just have a couple of corner guards. Here's Bobby right here, who is definitely hoping that there isn't a nutmeg knockout, because that will actually take up more time, and I believe she wants to scrape. For those fairly new to curling, after each game, we will traditionally mop, pebble, which is putting spray droplets of water and nip, and then just take the top of that off. But after a number of games, that pebble sort of builds up further and further, and it's a good idea to scrape and kind of start with a fresh surface. So that's I think what is the idea for this evening or this afternoon. Sweeping hard here on C to try and get another counter, and Yale has done that. So we have 2 blocks in the top 12. Sheet B, still nothing in the house. Sheet A, pardon me. The Syracuse Bowdoin game. Syracuse does have 2 blocks in the house. The Bowdoin Vice is looking just to take one of those out, and I think he's going to make this hit. Yep, makes the hit. And, but actually just makes the hit, but doesn't quite get it out of the house. I think that red is just hanging on the back there. We've been admiring the skip of the Yale team's sweeping. He appears to be dancing at the time. He has happy feet. He has very happy feet. Well, I think it's a happy skip at the moment. Down up 1 without hammer and sitting 2 top 12. I think looking to put another one in the house here. Over on sheet B, which is tied at 5 apiece after a good comeback by RPI, who were down 5-0 and now tied at 5. They've scored 2, stole 1, stole 2. We have 1 yellow in the house, 8 foot, in the 8 foot kind of a tee line, just back tee slightly. SUNY rock red. I think he was looking to draw down to that, just came up light. Pardon me, that was the. So SUNY throwing the yellow rocks on the B is sitting 1, and now behind a guard. Here on C, the draw was a little heavy, scouted through the house, given Nova a chance to try and draw one in behind the 2 yellows. Come up a little light here to put up a guard. So we're into skip blocks here on C. Yale skip's first block is coming. Imagine we're looking at a. He's trying to do Patrick here. Draw behind the yellow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, he'd have to be quite narrow for the tap to. Over on sheet B, we have two yellows in the house for SUNY with hammer. RPI is going to have to find a way in there, but they're both sort of slightly behind the tee, so. Yale skips a little tight on the boom here. Gets past that, he's actually going to just tap, and that's actually. Oh, well, that's. It wasn't plan A, but it's put something else in the house. On sheet B, the draw was a little heavy, and there's scooted to the back 12 to be second counter. That shot lock is very much buried behind that. 15 people looking at the moment. So thank you for joining us at Nutmeg Curling Club for this 2:30 draw of the Yale SuperSpiel. Villanova's skips first lock. They do have hammer down one. Looks like he's trying to look for the same shot that the Yale skip was trying, a draw. He's a lefty, so it's an out-turn draw. Coming off the wall, don't get quite as much curl off the wall as you do coming the other way, so tough to bury it behind yellow in the top on its way. Looks like it's going to be tight, and actually probably plays a hit. So he was his narrow with not enough weight, which obviously since he was playing a draw, not surprisingly. Given that, he's actually now tapped the yellow up to just touching the forefoot. Take a closer look at the what this house looks like. So we got last skip box coming. Yale is sitting short, but is wide open. So the obvious shot here would be to put up some form of a guard to guard that shot block. It's all about the line here. Oh, and we're actually calling a timeout. Love this. Patrick is rushing out of the warm room to come there. For those not familiar, the teams are normally granted one timeout. The coach can come out. He's actually not allowed to step onto the ice, but can walk around. Patrick is relishing this. I can see. He will come out, and the team will offer the opinion of what shot they were thinking. He will probably give a couple of other scenarios. Is this a shot? And then go from there. Bearing in mind this is a team of first-year curlers, so definitely experience here as to what to do. While this is happening, we'll flick over to the other sheets and see what's going on B. We are down to skip box here. The sort of house on B looks like at the moment. Remember, this game is tied, so whoever scores in this end, and obviously it's not going to be a blank, will be the winner. SUNY in yellow does have hammer, so this is the RPI skips last lock. You can see that yellow is currently sitting 1. And I think the call here is a draw. There's that high yellow, which actually was the SUNY skips first block, has actually kind of put itself in a not very good situation for them. So the Syracuse Bowdoin curlers are coming off the ice here. Bowdoin was victorious in that 9-3 after a big. It was a tight game up until the 6th, where they scored 4. On B, you can see this rock is going to stop. 4-shot rock. That's a very nice shot by the RPI skip. And now we're going to flick back to C. So the call has been made. If the coach makes it back here, I will ask. But I think the call was to put up the guard. That's a lot of ice. Been curled here at Nutmeg for over 10 years. I can say that is quite a lot of ice. Assuming that he's just looking at, he can cheat slightly outside because it's going to be tough to come on the inside for Villanova. So, box on the way. He's a little narrow, which, judging by the ice, might be good. But I think this is going to actually, who's so narrow, is going to over curl. Yeah. So that's over curl. There's really not going to be any form of and Villanova now is calling the timeout. I love this. Quickly fleeing over to B now. So this is hammer. He's got to obviously draw down to that shot while curlers are on it furiously. And I think he's going to crash on that top guard. No, he's fast. You need to come up. You need to come up. Why are you still sweeping? And he has made the shot. Very nice shot by the skip of the SUNY team. I think he can thank his sweepers on that one, of which he became one of them. Well played game. The RPI team came back from 5-0 down to tie it up at 5, but SUNY held on to win 6-5. That leaves us with one game still happening on the ice. This is the Yale Villanova game. Last block coming. Yale is up 1. Nova has hammer. If they make this, basically a clean hit and stick for 1, we will be going into bonus curling, which is the Nutmeg knockout. He's a little wide though on this. The Vice is the Penguin is wishing it back, but I think that's not going to come back. And so that unfortunately was a flash, and that is a score of at least 2, but it doesn't matter because they're up 1 already. So that's Yale victorious over Nova. So that brings the end of this session to a finish. Just to recap, on sheet A, Bowdoin beat Syracuse by the score of 9-3 in 7 ends. In a very tightly contested game on B, SUNY beat RPI 6-5, and on sheet C, Yale was victorious over the Villanova 2 team. I'm looking like they're hanging the score now, and that was 6-3. So that's it from Nutmeg Curling Club. I hope you all enjoyed this. Come back later on for the evening draws. Nigel Lucas signing off.